What's going on, guys, and welcome back to the channel. In the past decade or so, and even a little before that, we've seen the addition of some of the most intense roller coasters on Earth with, for example, 2002's X2, 2005's King Ka, 2012's Sky Rush, so forth, so forth. That being said, of course that isn't even close to making a completed list of current day intense coasters, and there's been plenty of newer ones since what was just listed, but what about old intense coasters? And I mean old, like early 1900 stuff. And I bring that up because I feel like they're often so overlooked and forgotten about just because there's a lack of information, photos, videos, etc. Again, suggested on the National Coasters Discord server, I'm going to cover one of these today that opened as the world's tallest roller coaster in 1937, and though having been closed for quite some time now, was also said to have been the most intense ride of its kind on Earth, even to today's standards. Yes, not one of the most, but the most, and it still holds that record today. However, eventually the attraction was closed because it was said by some to be too intense, and furthermore, finally ate its permanent demise in a fire. But what made it so extreme, and why did it really bite the dust? This is the story of Palisades Amusement Park's Lake Placid Bobsled. Home of the famous Cyclone roller coaster, the Tunnel of Love, and the world's largest saltwater pool, Palisades Amusement Park once stood high atop the New Jersey Palisades cliffs and started as nothing more than a picnic ground in 1898. With tables and benches, refreshment stands, and a stunning view of Manhattan, by 1908 it also saw the addition of a carousel, various rides, a Wild West show, and numerous other attractions before being purchased by Nicholas and Joseph Schenck, who likewise added to the park. Eventually, the quality of Palisades even rivaled that of the famous Coney Island itself. However, it wasn't until 1934 that brothers Irving and Jack Rosenthal would buy into the park and lead to the addition of today's video, the Lake Placid Bobsled. Built by John Norman Bartlett of England, the Lake Placid Bobsled when it first opened in 1937 was the tallest roller coaster in the world and was considered to be the most ambitious of bobsled coasters at the time, even to today's standards. With the 125-foot or 38-meter lift built onto a cliff to make it appear even larger than it already was, riders descended a steep drop into a rising 360-degree helix, and as the ride progressed, encountered steeper hills and tighter turns, creating higher Gs, and eventually, a crazy intense bobsled experience. This experience was consequently modeled after the original Olympic slide at Lake Placid, and was said to have allegedly reached speeds of nearly 70 miles or 113 kilometers per hour, making it the fastest bobsled coaster of all time as well. However, this speed was way too fast for what the ride was meant to be, and caused some hefty maintenance and downtime due to the extreme weight of the trains. Luckily, no accidents were reported though, and the ride ran well for the time it remained open, but as in all things, eventually it had to go, and in 1946, it closed for good just 9 years after it opened. This sudden decision was probably a cause of how intense the ride was, but though it closed, it didn't actually go anywhere for a while. In fact, it stayed there until 1949, when a large fire destroyed it and truly caused it to meet its demise. That fire was reported in January, and it is unknown whether or not the ride had any intent to be scaled down or refurbished before that, and limited information is available on the topic. So, all that said, this still was and is the tallest and most intense bobsled coaster to ever have been built, even to this day, and I'm definitely no historian or even super old defunct enthusiast, but I sure was intrigued by this thing, and for once I genuinely want to try it. I mean, I can only imagine the experience after riding Levi Bora, so I'm glad we have some footage of it mostly uncovered by Swamp Foxer. That's really all I got for you guys though, and I'm sorry this video was so short, there's just such a lack of information, but I thought it was totally worth bringing to you guys, so I hope you enjoyed it nonetheless. Unless there's any comments, questions, concerns, etc., which you can leave down below, I'm going to ask that you all like and subscribe though, it's super easy and really helps, but that's honestly it, so thank you all for watching, and I guess stay tuned for another video coming in a couple days, that's going to be really exciting. Until then, we'll see you all there, and thanks for being here. See ya!